Oh, yeah.
Check, checkity check.
Yeah. Here we are. The return of bitchin'. Return of bitchin' with Michael Devin and myself. And happy Thursday, everybody. It is, a little bonus episode for you. Michael's back in town. I'm in town. And we hung out a couple days ago. You came to see some comedy.
I did, dude. I saw you slay some comedy. Yes, if I may, please. Dean, you are an exceptional comedian and comic. Yes.
You know what? It's funny because you got to see both dynamics. You came to the store and you saw I went on second in the OR and, just having a great set fresh off the Bill Burr run, so I'm like fucking fired up.
All
rocking.
cylinders, man. And the crowd was fucking creamy.
Yeah, they were great.
Yes.
And then 2 hours later, we go to the Improv and you get to see what is known as the infamous check drop spot, which is cool because you get to see both dynamics.
Yes, man. Yes, absolutely. The highs and lows of the comic's life, man.
Yeah,
because not that the check drop audience was, impotent or anything. They were laughing, but you could tell they were preoccupied. A lot of heads were down, looking at their checks and going, "Oh fuck, how much did I spend tonight?" Right?
Yeah.
And is this right? Did I,
Yeah.
There's a lot of that going on, and then people sort of exiting because it's that time of the night.
Yeah,
So,
after 7 comics, and it's like, I think it was like midnight or something.
Yeah, that was a late, you
on
were
a Sunday.
Yeah, on a Sunday. So that's the other thing. People are working, but you work that into your routine. You were like, fuck work. No one in LA works, which is true.
Well, there's no, and also there's no excuse. You need to figure out all the dynamics when you're doing stand-up, because you could easily sit up there and go, well, it was a check drop spot, so it was totally terrible. I've watched guys over the years go on a check drop spot and absolutely slay.
Yeah.
So you need to figure it out, and then that's what I was telling you. If you're doing multi-spots in a night around town, you get all the different dynamics. You get an early crowd that's kind of fresh and rocking. You could go on in the middle of a show that's super easy and you're slaying because they're warmed up and focused, and then you can go on at the end of the night when they're burned out and the checks are dropping and maybe you're not their flavor or whatever. Yeah. And that is how you become an animal in comedy, figuring it out. It's just like when you're on tour
like a band.
bands.
Yeah, when you're the last band to go on, and everyone thinks that's the prime spot, but it is not the prime spot. People are exhausted, especially if you're on a 3-band bill, let's say. And you're going on at midnight. It's that's the tough spot unless
that's why LA adopted. I remember when I first was playing in LA, I thought we were headlining.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you're going on at 11:45. Go, fuck, we're headlining. Yeah. And the place was sold out, and we went on, and right when the middle band was done, everybody left.
Yeah.
And it was completely empty. And it's like, it seems like the story of my career. You know what I mean? Yeah. Holy shit, it's sold out. This is going to be great. And I realized right away, LA had adopted this middle spot would be the headliner because industry didn't want to be out all night waiting to see these bands. So they would go and get there at like 9:45,
And maybe check out the opening act if they, are inclined. But most people know.
And I often say this too, like people will come up to you when you're opening for a big comic, not opening, but in the middle. There's 3 spots typically when you're doing stand-up on the road. There's a host opener, then what they call a feature, which is the middle one, and then the headliner. And, the feature spot is the most cream of the crop because the host is on while the drink orders are going, and then the drinks drop. And then he finishes up. Then he brings on the feature, and the audience is ready. All right, we're ready here. And you're only doing 20, and you could slay him with your fire. And then the headliner has to come out and do an hour, and he has to deal with the check drop. And we've been on the show now 60 minutes or whatever, So a lot of times people will come up to you, and it's happened to me when I headline. It happens to me when I'm featuring, and I laugh at the people at their face. They'll be like, "You were way funnier than the headliner."
Right.
You should have been headliner.
Right.
And it's like, no. First of all, this guy sold this place out. and he's completely funny. And if he and I would have switched, he would have murdered and you wouldn't even have known who I was because he's only doing 20.
Right, the best. He's giving you his best.
Yeah, and he's
20.
on in the middle spot.
Yeah.
People don't understand the art of doing 1 hour of stand-up in this ADD fucking world of I got to look at my phone and what else is going on is almost impossible.
Yeah, that is not easy. And I was going to ask you about that because to fill an hour of stand-up without any, any kind of props or what have you. I could see if you were one of those comedians that used an acoustic guitar and all your jokes are centered around that or something. But to just stand there, that's very, very difficult to capture an audience and retain, the attention of the room, man, without people going like, okay, I'm itchy,
Yeah.
These days. Absolutely. And you don't see, I noticed that, a lot of people on their phones in the comedy rooms.
It's not allowed to, yeah.
There you go. That explains it.
Which, by the way, I want to give a side note. No one's ever come up to me after opening for Burr and went, "You were way funnier than the headliner," which is the greatest fucking tour to be on because you're constantly watching a master at it between him and me opening for Mark Maron all year long. Did these two different crushers. I learned so much because they're like. They're blazing by an hour and a half.
Wow.
Like Burr came off a couple days ago. He said something so amazing. He goes, "Man, I got too much material." You know what I mean? Because he's trying to figure out the new hour.
Yeah.
And as you're doing all your material and all of it's working, you're like, well, what am I going to cut out? It's like having a double album like Physical Graffiti.
Yeah.
I bet. If they had to cut that down to one, they wouldn't be able to, know?
They could. It just wouldn't be as good.
Right.
Like the White Album. Yeah, you could have cut some stuff off there, but it's not the White Album. You know?
It's the journey. I almost think it would be cool if Bill just shot an hour and a half.
Yeah.
No one's, of course, people's attention span, we're talking about it, is dwindled.
Yeah.
But he's like, this is everything I had. And like a podcast, you can watch it at your leisure.
Yeah.
Maybe have it in tracks.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Like an 8-track.
Yeah.
Track 1 is 30 minutes. Track 2 is 30.
Yeah.
Track 3 is 30,
Yeah.
That would be wild.
I thought about doing that with my podcast because I'm always inching towards an hour now. It's getting longer, and as we blather on, and I'm like, is this too long?
Yeah.
And should I split this in tracks? But then I realized when I talk to people who, the 3 people who listen, they say, no, man, I just listen in installments or I just fast forward through songs I don't want to hear.
Well, they listen to it also while they're commuting or at the gym and stuff, so they don't need it to burn up right away. They just carry on and get back into it.
Yeah.
It would, also a cool idea, I think, for like somebody at Burr's level would be to release segments.
Yeah.
This Friday is going to be this segment, 30 minutes. The following Friday is going to be the next 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And the following Friday will be the last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It'll be like 3 Friday night specials.
Like EPs. It's like he's putting out little EPs.
Yeah.
And that's what I notice even in music these days. It's like people can digest the EP. They can hang out with that.
They can.
Dropping the full length these days. I mean,
they don't take the time.
No. And I mean, back in the day, an LP consisted of 8 songs.
Yeah, right.
Maybe 9.
Yep.
But mainly just 8 tunes.
That's all we need.
But the advent of the CD.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it was
More
like,
space.
we look at all this time we have. We must fill it up.
Yeah.
Right? So now you're looking at 12 to 14 songs plus a bonus plus. It's just too much material. And that's why I think a lot of bands these days, they sink because they have too much weight on them.
Yeah, that's a thing too, and we'll get into it right now because there's a lot of stuff we can cover today because I answer so many emails. I think this is just better platform to get into it. But Greta Van Fleet, we were talking about it. They released 4 songs, and when I had them on the podcast, like, I don't know, almost a year ago now, or whenever that was, their initial idea was they had recorded a bunch of songs. They were going to release 4. and then 4, and then 4. But then the first one shot off, and now they've re-released it with 4 more. I didn't even look at the price. It's got to be cheap because you don't want to re-buy 4 you already owned.
Right. And so then what? What's the 3? So it'd be 3 EPs, but does that third one contain all of the material, or will it always just be standing as?
Well, the new one has all.
Right, so it's now
songs.
8 songs.
Right.
So it's technically a deluxe EP or
right, exactly.
a short LP.
Yeah.
My opinion has always been of when I heard that EP, I was like, well, let's see what the LP sounds like. Like, give it. Let's see what they.
The songs
deliver.
are good.
Yeah, but let's see what happens.
And I like them, but do I think? Like it just hit me over and over and over in Twitter. People are just like, man, this band's bringing back rock. Yeah. And every time I did, I go, oh, don't forget about Rival Sons. Hashtag, at Rival Sons or whatever.
Absolutely.
Like, what do you mean, man?
Absolutely.
And there's other bands too. The Black Angels,
right.
or all these bands, Uncle Acid, stuff that I've been throwing out there
for years. Those guys have been kicking it for years.
Yeah. So it's just it's funny. But anyway, congrats to them. And,
absolutely.
And congrats to anybody that buys the record. That's fucking cool. Yeah. But also dig deeper.
Yeah. Go out there and listen and buy.
Yeah,
absolutely. Go to shows.
Go to shows.
Check them out in a live setting, because a lot of times albums, are not exemplary of the band, the power of that band.
Yeah. I brought Don Jameson up to the stage when Rival Sons were playing at Rock on the Range this year. We were there doing comedy. I said, oh, you can't miss Rival Sons, man. They're on at like noon. And they had a shit spot, man. There's other bands that were, to me, below them that had better spots, but that gets into record companies paying or whatever.
It's funny you say that, because we did, Whitesnake was out and they were on a festival bill, and it was the same thing. I'm like, wow, they're on earlier than I expected.
Yeah, I mean, they just did the whole Sabbath tour for a year and a half.
I know, man.
Put them on at fucking like 4 p.m. Anyway, they came on, and Don Jameson was like, whoa, what the fuck? This band murders.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I wanted to have you here. We'll just go through some stuff. It's like we're coming down to the end of the year, 2017, and as I say, cheesy it is like, man, that year but flew by.
That's what old people say, because that's what I say. Man, these years are just peeling off the calendar.
Yeah,
but they are.
They really are.
Yeah.
They really are, man.
And I think that's a sign of our times, not of our age.
It's true.
Yeah.
It was, like, which, by the way, I'm selling everything in my house. I think that I'm just going to have to announce stuff I'm selling on the podcast.
There you go. That's a good idea.
Yeah, because I want to have absolutely nothing and the freedom of just bouncing between New York and here with just my records, this couch, and my clothes,
it's like the jerk. I'm just this couch, and these records.
That's it.
And this lamp.
You know what I mean? But now, if you guys are looking for some shit, I've got shit, man. I've got about 200 primo bootlegs. I'm not talking about these bootlegs that you get at like, your buddy hands you like, I burned this here. I'm talking about Japanese. Fine, crazy packaging CDs. I don't even have a CD player, but like Zeppelin. I posted a photo of him today on my Instagram. Springsteen, Black Crowes, whatever you're looking for, I got them.
Nice, nice.
I got a couch here. Somebody might want $500. Look at that thing.
Get it out of here. Moving it. Yeah, we're liquidating today.
Yeah.
This won't last, people.
Anyway, so I figured it'd be fun to kind of do an end of the year thing. I saw some great movies this year. Did you see any great movies?
I did.
Yeah, what'd you see?
Well, I saw some that I was anticipating, and some delivered, some didn't.
Yeah.
But I saw some recent films that come to mind. Dre and I went and saw It together. And I enjoyed it. We both enjoyed it.
Right.
Yeah, it was kind of a, without sounding cliche, it was a bit of a roller coaster ride in terms of of thrills and horror, and I dug that.
Right. People were talking about that film, boy.
It was good.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit skeptical at first, like, I know it's going to be some big budge, like kind of, really made for kids, but it wasn't.
Right.
It was not. I would not take a little kid to see this movie.
Yeah.
And it blew the made-for-TV version out of the water. I thought that one sucked.
Right.
I'm a big Stephen King fan.
Right.
I love his novels.
What's your favorite?
Of all of his novels?
Shining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say The Shining, and I like the Dark Tower series.
Cujo.
Cujo was Cujo. Well, there was his short stories. His book of the Night Shift, which had Children of the Corn.
Yeah.
He had a couple books of short stories, and had Trucks, which became Maximum Overdrive.
AC/DC did the soundtrack.
Yeah, and he had and Cujo and
was Who Made Who on that? Or no, wait.
Yes, that was that. They were
the one, right?
They were approached because Stephen King is a huge AC/DC fan.
Yeah.
So he said, "Hey, you guys want to do this?" So they put out. They had a few new. They actually had the new single on that was "Who Made Who,"
right?
Which I thought
and
was
those instrumentals. Remember those?
DT, and Chase the Ace,
Chase the Ace.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be weird if they played one of those live? Like Axl could just go take a break,
and
then you go back in there. You're like,
totally.
What the fuck? They're playing Chase the Ace.
Yes,
that'd be crazy.
It would be crazy. But that album was one where they started getting a little crucified because there's some cross pollination in the AC/DC catalog, especially on the early stuff, because some songs ended up on like compilations, and then other songs ended up on like Australian releases, and it was sort of like, wait a minute, I've already heard
Stripper.
Yeah, so like
that Crab City and Blues.
Crab City and Blues. Yeah,
which is a great. Then that crawling down your leg. My God,
it's so good. But
let me ointments. So whatever. Ointment like that. You got the blues. What a tune, man!
Great tune.
It's so wacky.
Great tune. But like Who Made Who had Hell's Bells, and it had For Those About to Rock.
It's like a compilation.
A little bit of a compilation, but few people realized that it was actually a soundtrack because it didn't say that anywhere on the cover of Who Made Who, and they toured that album.
Yeah.
You had to open up the actual album and see, like, oh, this is for a movie called Maximum Overdrive, and it was tiny. The logo for it was tiny.
I think that's Chris Slade's first era, maybe.
No, that's still Simon.
Oh, Simon. Oh yeah, because Burr saw that. I went to that tour too, but Burr was like, oh, the first time I went, it was Simon, right?
I still got the T-shirt.
I remember that.
But
great tune.
Yeah, and that was their. I think that was sort of their return to form a bit, because I think like Fly on the Wall, even though there are songs on there I thought were strong, Shake Your Foundations, and even Sink the Pink, I thought those were good radio tunes, and I think Shake Your Foundations went over well live.
Yeah,
but I like that album. I'm a big fan. I just love all their shit. But
you like Fly on the Wall?
Yes, I do. Whoa. I like the song Danger.
Whoa.
Yeah, I like the song Fly on the Wall.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, I admit it. I like it.
Yeah.
But it's not their strongest material, and I think the production on that album was not like them. I think it was a little too glossy. It was soaked in reverb. It was sort of a sign of the times that was going on then, kind of what the climate was in rock. A lot of really wet snare sounds and stuff like that, and wet vocals. But I think when they came out with Who Made Who, it was a little bit more like, this is getting back to the rock a bit, And then when they came out with Razor's Edge, I thought it was really
that's a smoker.
Yeah.
And then the one after that with the statue.
Oh, Rock or Bust.
Yeah,
that was good.
No, Rock? No, that's the last one. That's the last one, right?
Oh, is it Ball Breaker?
Fuck, God, they got so many records, and here we are, huge fans.
And I know, for me, it gets convoluted toward the anything after Razor's Edge. I'm just sort of like, well, Ball Breaker was the one after Razor's Edge, and there was Black Ice.
Yeah,
there was Ball Breaker.
Okay, here you go. It's you got the fucking. Hold on. People right now are like, how do you guys not know that?
Because somebody's like, yelling into their.
Well, it gets blurry. Here you go. Stiff Upper Lip.
That was it. Thank you. Stiff Upper Lip. Yeah.
And so then you got Who Made Who.
Yeah.
You got then you got the fucking.
After Who Made Who came Blow Up Your Video.
Blow Up Your Video.
Which had Heat Seeker.
Yeah.
Which wasn't bad. It had a couple
huge
tunes.
Hit.
It had That's the Way I Want My Rock and Roll.
Oh, yeah.
Not a bad tune, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, but man, like I said, you'll take any of these tunes in your fucking category, right? Can you imagine? His Stiff Upper Lip, I think, is really good. Remember that New York City song?
Yeah. I Feel Safe in New York City.
Yeah.
That was a good, solid album.
Yeah. Meltdown.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah, it's a very different album for them, you know.
2000 that came out.
Yeah, 2000, man.
That's crazy, man. 2000.
Yeah.
And look at how many songs on this thing. 12 songs, you know?
It's a big one.
Yeah, man.
We digressed to AC/DC, but we were talking about movies.
Yep.
And the movie, It was, I think, a good movie. But I saw this movie, the movie entitled Mother.
Oh, yeah.
That movie.
Yeah.
Blew my mind.
That's what's her name, right? Jennifer Jason Leigh?
No,
Jennifer Lawrence. I mean, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
And
that got like mixed reviews.
I know it did because it's a little bit too intellectual, I want to say.
Yeah.
This is more for, maybe the Yes fans of the world.
Wow. It's got some multi-dimensions?
Yeah, because I found anyway, Dean, I found it to be allegorical in its tone. But I did. It is allegorical, and it's the title of the movie itself should be an indication of that. Mother with an exclamation point.
Yeah.
And
did Danzig do the soundtrack? That'd be great, right? That'd be great if you're sitting in the seat. It just came on. Awesome. Mother.
That'd be awesome.
God, that'd be
and he
great.
had a little cameo.
Yeah. Tell the children not to come my way.
What's the dude's name who was in? Because the other actor there, I want to say his name. He has a French name, Jean, whatever his name is. His name is failing me, but he's a good. He's a good. He's a very good actor, and he was in another movie I loved that came out years ago, and it's all kind of escaping my mind here. But I thought the movie was fantastic. I didn't know what to expect because my rule of thumb generally is if the trailer sucks, then the movie might be really good. But if the trailer's killer, I don't know. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to say,
They're trying to sell you something.
Yes, but the guy, the Javier Bardem.
Oh, I love him.
Okay.
What, are you kidding me?
Okay.
The best. He's the best fucking. I said he's the number one scariest guy ever on screen with no mask. Because he was the killer in...
Was it No Country?
Yep, No Country for Old Men.
That movie fucking rules, right?
That's the best film in the last 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he was great in this movie, as was Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
She was fantastic, as was Ed Harris.
Awesome.
And
great cast.
Great cast. And... we just mentioned her, who's wonderful, and I love her, Jennifer Lawrence.
Yep.
But the movie never stops sort of unfolding and unraveling on you and becomes more and more surreal. So you don't really know what's real anymore and what's not. But by the end of the movie, by the climax of the movie, you realize, oh, wait a minute. This isn't reality at all.
Oh, wow.
But I think what happened to the audience, to the regular moviegoer, they weren't prepared for such a thing. They went in there taking this movie at face value and walked out saying, God, that sucked. That was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
But if you had realized, wait, this isn't a real story.
Different dimensions
real
and
narrative.
shit like that.
Yeah, well, yeah, this is telling me a story, and all of these characters are actually embodiments of elements of life, of mother, it's all, the whole movie is about Mother Nature, planet Earth, and how we're destroying it.
Oh, wow.
And that's what it's
the
about.
Subtitle.
Absolutely, dude. And then the rebirth. So it's sort of like the birth and death of civilizations. This is what I took away from it because the movie, I won't spoil it for you, but the jewel at the end of the movie, the literal diamond that is in possession at the end of the movie that sort of begins this other narrative again. It's like, oh, man blew itself up.
Yeah.
And then man starts again.
That's what's going on right now.
Yes, and that's our story.
Yeah.
But we don't ever realize that as we're living in it, I think. I think that humankind is designed like individuals are designed. We are not programmed to face our own death unless our culture demands it of us. Certain cultures, through religiosity, what have you, will sit you down at a very young age and say, listen, this is preparation. Life is preparation for your death. And having that at the forefront of your mind every day will bring you a more fruitful life.
Yeah.
And lots of cultures have proven that can be a very healthy way of living. But in the West, we don't do that. We push off the idea of death till death pays us a visit. And then we say, oh my God, I'm afraid, oh my God. Because what we do is we fill ourselves with these whatever you fill yourself with to remind yourself that you're alive forever and you hope to live forever. And youth is king in the West, and the elders are pushed to the fringe of society and not really they're not really well taken care of, in my opinion. And whereas in other cultures, the elders of the tribes and of the societies are very well taken care of.
Like on a good kung fu movie.
Absolutely.
Respect your elders, man.
Dude, absolutely.
The guy's going to kick your ass.
Yes, he is. And he's got all of the answers.
Yeah, he does.
So go to your elders and ask
grasshopper.
That's right. Ask the question because they know the answer.
Yeah.
They've already been there. We don't do that here. We just sort of go, no, I'm going to live forever and I'm going to get, facelifts and the rest of it and whatever. I'm going to be hip and young forever. Don't talk about death. So this movie taps into that, which maybe on subconscious level, the audience didn't appreciate it because maybe that taps into the fear of death.
Right.
And we don't, as I say, don't like to confront it. And so maybe the idea of like, oh my God, the world is crumbling, my reality is crumbling, I'm aging, things are changing. This is too much for me. Bring me back to the Disney movies.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I want to confront my death.
Give me some Star Trek.
Yeah.
That's why, like a lot of people said, are you going to do a Malcolm Young episode?
Uh-huh.
And I had kind of departmentalized, as they would say.
Yeah.
I had taken in his death years ago. Once I knew he had dementia, you know what I mean? Yeah. And once he wasn't on that last tour and everything.
Yeah.
Where these other deaths, like Tom Petty, were so shocking.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, I just saw this guy a week ago.
Right.
Or Lemmy.
Yeah, Cornell or Chester.
Cornell, that kind of stuff. You're like, whoa.
Right.
Whoa. Where Malcolm, I'd come to peace with it, like, that guy was such a big part of my life, and he wrote the soundtrack to my life.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
Right on, man. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So when it was coming, I knew it was coming eventually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that I think the scary part about death is just the mystery. Like, I think if you get something like cancer or dementia or something, you're like, well, that's going to be it. But I'm talking about where you're just walking down the street, something happens.
Yeah, a piano falls on your head from the fifth-story building
just
or something.
Fucking done.
Yeah,
like what the
taken
fuck?
away immediately.
Yeah,
that's always the shocker. Tom Petty was a shocker.
Oh man, I still cannot fucking believe it.
Neither can I. That one hit me pretty hard. Malcolm, I mean, I knew just from talking to Rick, to Rick Nielsen. I mean, they were very good friends, and I asked him how Malcolm was doing. He said, it was just a matter of time. And so I knew, like, okay, so this is, he's being well cared for, but he's probably not going to be living much longer.
Well, nobody comes back from that.
No,
which is interesting that they haven't been able to figure out how to kill Parkinson's and dementia and
well, I think dementia. I think it's more prevalent now than it's ever been in our society. And I don't know what the contributing factors are to that. It may be environment, it may be diet, it may be the medicines you're taking. I don't know, but
cell phones.
It could be cell phones.
Could be cell phones.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
They're still discovering all sorts of links that cause dementia. Heavy smoking, they're saying is maybe, and Malcolm smoked.
He smoked like 5 packs a day. Yeah,
alcoholism.
I mean, if it wasn't that, it would be like lung cancer for these guys.
And I didn't know that he actually had lung cancer.
Oh, really?
Yes, I just found this out because I did a tribute to him on the Rock and Roll Bible, and I started reading about him, and on the wiki, I had no idea, but it was treated.
Wow.
I had no idea. They kept that really quiet.
Everything in AC/DC is really
very quiet.
Yeah.
Very hush
Yeah.
And so,
everything's a top secret on that.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's been that way forever, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're billionaires, and nobody even
Nobody
takes
talks
that
about
in.
it.
You don't see them in a private jet.
Nope.
You don't see the mansions.
Nope.
You don't see.
Well, you see
cars.
Angus's house where he owns like the whole block, like that big old house.
Right, but I'm saying you don't really. They're not. They've never run cribs. Like, welcome to my crib, mate.
No,
those are my 17 Lamborghinis.
It's true. Like Angus isn't like dripping in jewels, and rich rock stars can tend to do. They start wearing all the chrome hearts shit or whatever.
And I wonder. I know. I wonder if they, a lot like the Ramones, where they were like really careful with their image, or if they're just thrifty, you know what I mean? Like they just don't blow money. I don't know, because I know Phil Rudd did. Like when he got busted on.
Oh, dude, the hookers, the meth, the crack in the boat, he had the Lamborghini,
he had the yacht, all that shit.
But I think there's something to be said about that. I think that's true. I think when especially Malcolm being the godhead of that band, he probably set a precedent and sort of an unspoken rule, which is, do not, separate yourself from what AC/DC stands for.
Right.
We are all behind that logo.
Yeah.
We are never to be standing in front of it.
Yeah.
And I think the blue
Black
jeans,
T-shirt, blue jeans.
Yeah, I think that was sort of the calling card. It was like, just show up in your blue jeans and your boots and your T-shirt to remind yourself that you are in AC/DC. You know what I mean?
Well, Burr and I were saying
Cliff
also
could get away with the button downs, but that was about it.
But Burr and I were saying the great thing about that is you could look at a photo at any era of yourself and you never cringeworthy, like, ooh, what was I wearing there?
Totally.
It's always the same thing.
Totally, dude.
Ah, there he is.
Yeah.
Black T-shirt, jeans, boots.
Maybe Angus's haircuts from time to time, he probably looks back and goes, wow, what was that all about?
Angus looks pretty fucking tore up, man.
Well, dude, he's a heavy, heavy smoker.
Yeah, he's a heavy smoker, and also he put his body through, like, I rode motorcycles all my life, so my body's pretty fucked up right now. When I get up in the morning, I'm like, ugh, and I don't even do anything like Angus of jumping off amps and all those fucking run and slides, slide on the knees. And all
knocked his teeth out with his guitar. How many times did he break his teeth?
It's just fucking
Imagine his neck. Imagine his back.
I know.
I think he was made. I think God or the universe or what have you, I don't know, divinely said, this small man, diminutive man, will be one of the biggest rock superstars with antics in the world, because I think his small body, like a jockey, worked to his advantage.
Yeah,
because
maybe.
he wasn't
no weight on those
right, I was
bones.
saying he wasn't just short in stature, he was small in frame as well.
Yeah.
No meat on his bones.
I was just reading that fucking, which I never knew. I love when these guys drop little bombs out here and there. Today I was reading that Dave Mustaine was saying, I was going to cancel that last show on the Big Four because I had fused neck, vertebrae. And, until that Metallica manager called me a pussy, I said, I'll show you. And he showed up and did the show. But he goes, look, all of us have had this surgery. And he said James has had it. I was like, whoa. So there's another secret camp, you know what I mean? But I knew that, all their vertebrae and shit in their neck from headbanging. Of course, Tom Araya had that surgery. He said he sings better now because he's not headbanging all the time. He's upright.
Right.
But I remember Jason had that problem too.
Jason had some problems.
Yeah. So, imagine Angus. Got to just have crumbling limbs.
Imagine how he feels when he wakes up in the morning. Oh. But, he still doesn't. I mean, obviously his stage show has changed. He's not hitting his knees. He's not doing the manic Angus that he was as a young man. But I challenge anybody.
Oh.
Not only...
I'm 51. I couldn't do that. We were just talking about it. We did that show last year. And I sang an hour of AC/DC and did jokes for 20 minutes, and I was tore up.
Yeah. And you imagine if you are able to put on that kind of a show night after night. Imagine, somebody like AC/DC in the early days when they didn't have the luxury of one show, 2 days off,
No.
2 in a row.
The next day.
Every day. And not only are you beating the
Shitty
shit...
bunk in the bus.
Yeah. Not only are you beating the shit out of yourself like that, but you're playing guitar in that fashion because the man can play guitar.
Yeah.
It's not like a bunch of noise when you solo him off into
It's
live.
fucking flawless.
It's flawless.
There's
and his
no
soloing,
fumbled notes.
I challenge anybody who's playing, it's not beginner guitar solos.
Yeah.
They are good guitar solos, man. And he's
Yeah.
doing that while he's
bobbing.
Dude, that in itself is really, that's talent. That's
everything
super
about
talented.
that is crazy. You got to be in time.
Yeah.
So he's fucking doing crazy moves, but playing in time.
Yeah.
Then he's not fumbling any notes. He
No.
doesn't break strings ever, which
No.
is weird.
No,
I saw him one time, maybe, you know.
And he hands his pick back to his tech after every show.
Whoa, he keeps one pick.
Yes, dude.
Whoa.
He hands the pick back to the tech.
That is
Isn't that
some more
insane?
frugal.
Right.
Malcolm's like, I don't want to see any picks out of that crowd either.
Well, you then look at Malcolm's pick, and his through one song is chewed halfway
off,
down.
yeah.
His right. Few people know how hard that guy played. That right hand.
That
was.
guy's fucking great.
Dude, is so great.
Oh, man.
Zoom into the rhythm guitar playing of AC/DC. I ask all of you, just zoom into it with your ear orally and listen to how his rhythm guitar parts evolve and change throughout the course of the song. He's not just playing the same thing. It's not a cut and paste mentality there.
No.
He's working these ideas, man.
Oh,
it's way more sophisticated than people give it credit for, man.
You can tell too is when we do I every year would do this tribute to Bond, and you get some of the best musicians in the room, and they'd always be like, "Wait a minute,
Yeah, what's he
what
doing
the fuck
there?
Is he doing there?
Yeah.
Wait, is that right? He's doing. Why would he go there for this one part? You know. And a perfect example is the rhythms on "Let There Be Rock" during the solo. It's like
Yep.
And then it's so weird because there's no structure. You'd think it would be all right, he goes 4 and then he goes 4, but no, it's 4, then 3, then you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
Listen to the counter
and then
rhythms.
he'll mute, but then he'll open it up.
Yeah, and all the counter rhythms on the Back in Black album. I mean, I could name and just go down any song. It's Back in Black itself. I mean, it's amazing. The top of For Those About to Rock, when he comes in on those open chords, he never plays the same thing twice.
Yeah,
it's cool. He's amazing.
So great.
But yeah,
I was gonna say, which by the way, Jennifer Lawrence was in your movie that you're talking about, Mother.
Yeah,
she's in a film. I've been a fan of hers for years.
Yeah, I love her.
Yeah, but she did a movie which is so fucking dark. It's called Winter's Bone.
Oh, yeah. My friend's in that. John Hawkes is in that movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
God.
Winter's Bone. Great movie. Really dark.
What a film.
Yeah,
dude.
really dark. And really good soundtrack.
Oh, yeah. If you haven't seen it, it came out in 2010, and it is just incredible.
Yeah.
And this other one she did, The Burning Plane.
Yeah.
Both great films, man. And man, I tell you, that Winter's Bone is gnarly.
Yeah, dude, that's a dark and cold movie. You feel the cold in that movie.
Oh, you do, man. It feels like fucking, like the way they shot it, it feels like ice.
Yes, because I want to say a lot of those scenes, like they put that blue, they put a filter on it.
So you feel cold the whole time.
Right away, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I saw this other movie this year that I was anticipating, and again, following my rule of thumb, the trailer looked awesome, and I said, oh, man, I saw the trailer for it when I went to see Mother. And I was like, I gotta see this. I'm a big Coen Brothers fan.
Oh, I love them. Love them. What, are you kidding me?
But dude, I gotta
No Country for Old Men.
Yes.
Yeah.
But dude, I gotta say,
yeah.
It's kind of like I saw that it's been 2 strikes for me. I didn't love Hail Caesar.
Yeah.
Nope. And I just didn't love it. And I didn't love Suburbicon that just came out with Matt Damon. And I was anticipating this story of because the trailer sort of informed me, or at least I thought it was, of this 1950s Caucasian working class, middle class male who sort of loses his shit via kind of falling down.
Right.
And starts and has to defend his family against the mob. So he starts just beating the shit out of these bad guys, so to speak.
Right.
But he's the good guy. But that it wasn't the story at all. It was more of a not a whodunit, but it was kind of a mystery. And then the character is not what I thought. He wasn't this hero I thought he was. He was sort of a slimy kind of a character, if you will. Very secretive and I don't know. I
didn't see that
It
one.
failed me. And Dre and I went, and she's the best moviegoer, obviously, because she's an actor and a
Right.
damn good one. And she understands story, and I consider myself a writer, so I understand story.
Right.
But we both walked out of there saying, not really what we were hoping it would be.
I thought Hail Caesar was interesting. I liked it. For the era, and
I liked that.
There
yeah.
was kind of a touch of a little bit of Illuminati on there.
Yeah.
With that house out in Malibu, all those guys were, at.
Yeah.
That was kind of
Yeah,
interesting.
that was an interesting.
Yeah, there was some spins on there.
Yeah.
That I think was cool if you're like a person that's in the biz.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow.
But I think maybe I don't know if it's the Clooney, because I think Clooney directed both of these films.
Right.
And I'm not sure if maybe it's just some decisions he's making that are coming up short comparatively to the old Coens.
I love Serious Man.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of underrated.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I thought it was good, but
Yeah.
they seem to have that kind of run where it's like every other one's crushing.
Yeah.
But if you're saying this one's not that hot,
I didn't think it was.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was. And, but I mean, I take their body of work at face value. I think their body of work speaks for itself.
No Country for Old Men, just for that one alone.
Yeah.
Of course, the old days, Big Lebowski, Fargo.
Yeah, dude.
Barton Fink, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Miller's Crossing.
I mean, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
And into, you know what I mean? Then you got Big Lebowski, Fargo.
Yeah,
I mean, come on,
yeah, I
man.
know. I mean,
those
yeah.
are just crushing everything
those guys
in its
and Wes
path.
Anderson, underrated,
Yeah,
man.
Wes Anderson's very underrated.
Fucking underrated,
Yeah.
man. I'll tell you, I've only saw about 4 films this year because I'm always, I don't know. I only go to the movies now if it's something I must see because I'm just like doing comedy at night. And during the day when I'm in the movies, I'm just kind of like, fuck, man, I should be working or something, which I gotta have some balance.
Yeah.
I need balance because when I do go to movies and stuff, I write better and it opens my brain and stuff.
Absolutely.
I saw 4 films this year that I thought were incredible. Dunkirk, which is just...
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, great.
wow, man.
Yeah, non-stop
That fucking film is like, you sit down and you're like, whoa, we're going.
Absolutely, non-stop.
Yeah, and then Get Out, which I thought was one of the most original films I've seen in years.
Just watched it last night because it happened to be on cable, and I put the TV on. I watched some news, and then I couldn't go to sleep.
Yeah.
So Get Out had just started. And I was like, I'll watch a little bit. I watched the whole thing.
It's incredible.
It really is.
It's so original and creepy.
Very, very original.
What a fucking smoker.
Yeah.
And then, of course, The Big Sick, which I loved.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's great. And then this film I saw this week, Lady Bird, which is just...
I haven't seen that either. I'm looking forward to that,
You
though.
and your lady should go
Yeah.
see Lady Bird. It is great.
Yeah.
Lady Bird is just... I love old school style indie films. Get Out, Lady Bird. I mean, grew up in the days where there seemed to be way more indie films. You know, that era of like Drugstore Cowboy.
Absolutely.
And
De Palma.
My Own Private Idaho.
Absolutely.
That kind of shit, you know. And I loved going to the indie theater in San Francisco right there in Nob Hill. I forget what it was called. Might have been Nob Hill Theater or whatever, but
that was the golden age of independent film, man.
just
Was the
indie films
ladies into
so
the 90s.
cool.
Absolutely.
Even like River's Edge.
Yep.
You get into all the David Lynch stuff, all that stuff.
Absolutely. Obviously, the Tarantino stuff.
Yeah.
Which, that was a great movie I saw of Tarantino's, but I don't know if it came out this year. Was The Hateful Eight? Was that last year?
That was last year, yeah.
That was fucking
That's a
great.
great one because it's like a play.
Yeah, and it's true to Tarantino form. And
he's doing Manson, which Manson just died.
Yeah, he's doing Manson. I love...
You could play Manson. Look at you.
I should probably try to go out for it, actually.
I hope he gets someone really like somebody that nails it. Like Brad Pitt could kill Manson.
Yeah, but he's too... Well, Manson was handsome, I suppose.
Brad Pitt in California. Remember him?
Yeah.
When he fucking smashes that Heineken bottle over that dude's head, you're like, whoa, what a...
But he's too big a guy. You need a small guy.
I know, he's so small. He's like Malcolm Young height.
Yeah, he's tiny, man.
He really is.
Yeah, but I guess you don't have to have a tiny actor to play it. You could have a bigger guy and then just cast everyone around this person.
Yeah, I guess. It would be... it's going to be interesting to see.
Who the hell can play Charles Manson?
Yeah. Oh, Sean Penn would kill it.
Yeah, but he's very unpopular right now because of that whole Chapo thing, and you know what? Hey, listen, you do whatever you got to do to make a living, but whatever that woman's name is, whomever she is, the Spanish actress. I mean, talk about fucking milking a story, and almost putting a guy's life in danger. I watched her thing on Netflix, it was like a fucking 8-part series on one story. You could have condensed it down to, give me the pithy, man. Just give what happened.
Yeah.
And by the way, let's just get to Sean Penn because that's all we care about. We don't care about, she's giving you her backstory about her career.
You're constantly hitting the fast forward button.
On the Telemundo, her early career. It's hold on.
She's showing you why she's set this up for 8 episodes. She hasn't worked since then.
And because we have Spanish women in our house, right?
Yeah,
so the Telemundo, man, it's always on, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
And I see this woman on there constantly, and I see Sean, and I hear Sean Penn, and I'm I'm like, why? Like, they're not letting this go about Sean Penn, and because I think it's because for her, this is
her ticket,
and it was very successful. The series that she had put out, but what's next?
Yeah,
what's next for her? And to throw Sean Penn under the bus like that, I suppose he did some. What he did is what he did. I get it. Like, watch it for yourself. Come to your own opinion on his behavior for that. But you know what? You could probably just skip to, if it's a 6-parter, go to part 3 or 4. You get to the, juice of the story. Yeah. But don't try and get this guy, killed.
Yeah.
I think that pissed a lot of people off who were in the El Chapo camp,
That's fucking crazy, right?
Yeah. Well, it was a little crazy for him to infiltrate like that. Are you nuts? This guy kills people daily.
I know.
Are you fucking nuts?
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? That's like that's like going to meet Brando if he were real in The Godfather.
Right. And then filmed him.
Yeah. Really sit down with Corleone.
A couple ads real quick, and then we'll get back into the show. El Cajon Harley, my fantastic sponsor. You need some motorcycle gifts. Christmas is coming. Just buy your loved one a motorcycle. Fuck it. Don't go in and get them boots or chaps or a helmet. Get them a motorcycle. Go to El Cajon Harley in San Diego. Doesn't matter where you live. Fly in. They'll pick you up at the airport. You can ride it home. They got all kinds of great deals going on right now. El Cajon Harley. Follow them on Instagram and Twitter. They're constantly putting up badass motorcycles. And they got a service special going on right now. If you spend, I think it's like $500, or more in parts, you get 20% off labor. So hit them up, El Cajon Harley. And also my other great sponsor, Catatonic. Are you a small business and you want to get some kind of stickers made or promotion or any kind of, are you a rock band? Whatever. Catatonic Graphic Solutions, catatonic.com. That's who makes all my stickers. And they make toys. Right now, Christmas time is here. You just draw something on the napkin. Look at this guy. He makes badass shit.
Yeah, he does.
He makes 3D toys, man. Hit him up, catatonic.com. That's CADATONIC. If you're a band or a small business or whatever, and you need to get stickers or artwork. Look at this shit right here.
What do they do? Logos, or do they actually design?
They do
design?
anything you want. They do design. They do logos. They do stickers. They do shirts. They're like a one. Look at that right there. They're like a one-stop art shop. They got the fucking 666 Delray shirt up there. Anyway, this guy's fantastic. And tell him I sent you. And get some shit made, man. Anyway, those are the ads. That's a mid-roll, a mid-read roll, or whatever you would call that. Anyway, yeah, man. So fucking there's some great films out and some great records this year. I wanted to give everybody a shout out to, because I do buy vinyl all the time and people constantly ask me, should I get the reissues? Should I get the originals? I always say get the originals because the originals sound amazing, and try to get a mint copy of the original. It's probably going to be about the same price, maybe cheaper or more. But a lot of the times the reissues are cash grabs by labels. That being said, this week I got 2 reissues and they fucking made my jaw drop. The first one was Wilco's Being There. Wilco released AM and Being There, their first 2 records, on vinyl in these deluxe box issues. And this Being There, it fucking blows my mind. It's in this white marble vinyl, and it comes with all kinds of cool notes, and then it comes with a bunch of demos on the second piece of vinyl, and then the third piece of vinyl is live at KCRW, and if you're a Wilco freak like I am, everybody argues what era Wilco they love. It's like Radiohead, or it's like Zeppelin, or any great band, you know. I would say this is a fucking must-own. I think it was $80, and it is worth every penny I spent on it. It blew. I put it on yesterday. It blew me out of the water. And today, I got Metallica's Master of Puppets Deluxe Box.
Ooh, what's on that?
Oh, let me tell you. Hold on. You talk for a minute.
Oh.
Let me tell you something.
I mean, Master of Puppets Deluxe sounds to me like there's some goodies on there that I may not have heard before.
Okay.
And that is one of my favorite albums of all fucking time.
Okay, so first of all, I could have just bought them. They sell just the remastered album right now. It just came out, $30. I could have bought that and been fine. Most of the stuff in this box set I'm not even able to use because I have no CD player or DVD player. But I love this record like you love this record, and I need to own everything about this record. And Metallica, I've got to give hats off to them because I've got the Kill 'Em All release last year, a box. I got the Ride the Lightning box, and now this. And these fucking guys are the furthest from a cash grab. It's one of the finest reissues I've ever seen.
Okay.
Here's what you get. The first piece of vinyl, which is 180 milligram, is the record remastered on vinyl. That's the first thing you get in it.
180G.
Yep. Which, by the way, sounds incredible.
Yeah.
Zero warp.
Yep.
I'm tired of these fucking companies sending out these reissues, and they're warped. And I found out why. Somebody told me when I was in Detroit at Third Man Records, the reason a lot of records are coming warped is they're not letting them cool down long enough because they just need to get them into the stores.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Because I'm buying, man. I'm only buying 180 gram if I can find it.
Right.
But there are some albums that it just doesn't happen.
Right.
You know, I got Bob Marley's. I got Legend on vinyl because I just wanted a bunch of Marley around the house. For the kids. And dude. It showed up. It looked like a W.
It's unbelievable, right?
I'm like, wait, how do I fucking play this? This is unplayable.
I've been talking to people about it too.
Yeah.
Then you go to bring it back at the record store, and they look at you. There's some kind of fucking bullshit gray area years ago that they went, look, We don't accept returns ever. Yeah, can we get away with that? Yeah, fuck it. How could they be the only one in the fucking world in the business of anything you buy that you couldn't return because it's damaged right when you opened it? So fuck you.
Yes, a big fuck you.
Yeah,
to those vinyl shops.
Yeah, it happened to me on this Radiohead reissue I just got. OK Computer.
Yeah.
I got fucking fucked on this thing 3 times. First of all, I signed up on the deluxe box, waited for like 3 months, kept going, hey, where the fuck is this? I complained. I canceled the order.
Yeah.
Fuck you, got my money back. It finally showed up. No vinyl in it.
What?
Yeah, it's sitting up there.
Wait a minute.
So it got
it's just the sleeve. That's all you got?
No, I got the books.
Because it's a box set reissue.
It's a book. So I got all these books and all these notes and tapes and everything. And then there was no vinyl in it. So I go, all right, well, fuck it. I didn't pay for it. You know, they fucked up somehow. So I'll go buy just the record version and I'll put it in my box and I got it.
Yeah.
I go get the first ones completely warped. And when I go back to the guy, he goes, I'll return it. But if I give you I'll give you your money back or you can have another one. But if the other one's warped, I'm not going to return it because they don't let me return it. And I was like, fuck, this is a fucking gamble.
Yes, it is.
Because I want this record. Fuck it, I'll do it. And I got it. And the third one was warped. And I'm like, oh, I give up.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, I give up.
Right. There is a way you can fix that, but it's also, there's a, you got to do it right, but there's, you can go online and look, and it's basically rebaking the vinyl.
Right.
2 pieces of glass. You put the record in between the 2 pieces of glass.
Yeah.
You preheat your oven to whatever, 250 or something.
Yeah.
You put those 2 pieces of glass in there and you let it sit for X amount of time. I don't know how, make sure all of you kids at home who are going to do this, look up the recipe.
Yeah, don't take us.
No.
You'll be like, I fucked my record.
No, I'll melt your fucking record in the stove and then you'll yell at me. But you can fix that, but it's risky. The other way to do that is just pressure over time. So that is take an LP, take fucking,
couple heavy books.
Yeah, take like 5 coffee table books and put it on top of that and kiss that record goodbye for say 6 weeks and then bring it back and you will have a straighter record. Yeah. But anyway, let's get back to this Master of Puppets.
So you get the first LP is the remastered record, which it sounds fucking smoking. Second LP, this is gold right here, buddy. Live at the Aragon Ballroom, Chicago, May 25th, 86.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, live on vinyl.
Wow.
And here's the set list. Battery, Master of Puppets, Bell Tolls, Welcome Home Sanitarium, The Thing That Should Not Be, Pulling Teeth, Damage, Fade to Black, Seek and Destroy, Creep and Death, The Four Horsemen, Guitar Solo, Am I Evil, Whiplash.
Wow.
Yeah, 180 milligram vinyl.
Does it sound good?
Oh, I haven't even got to there yet because I just rocked the reissue. It just came today. All right, next up, you get a CD of the mastered record, which I'm not going to be using. Second CD is interviews back from when they released the record. All these interviews that they did with magazines.
Way. Oh, very cool.
There's a great full interview of Cliff Burton.
I was just going to say, Cliff's got to be on there.
Yeah, a full interview with him, 2 of them, and then an interview with Lars on Metal Force magazine. And then the third CD is more interviews with James, and it's all these interview CDs, which is great. It
awesome.
Might sound boring to someone, but to hear their frame of mind back then of when it's just such an innocent time. They don't even know the record's going to be huge.
Yeah, they don't know they're going to be the biggest band in the world.
Yeah, and they don't even know that they wrote one of the top 5 of all-time metal records.
Right.
So that's interesting.
Right, isn't it?
Then CD 4 is rough mixes from the vault, different mixes of the whole record, which is always, I always love to hear that because you're like, oh man, listen to that fucking guitar tone. It's totally different. Just a twist of the knob, people don't understand. You can make a guitar sound totally different.
Absolutely.
Which we're all waiting to hear because, they're releasing all the records.
And Justice for All.
Are they going to add bass?
That's what I was just going to ask. I can't wait to think. What do you think?
I think since this is how in-depth this is, I think they're going to have original mix and mix with bass. I definitely agree.
I think you're right about
100%,
that. 100%.
Because look at all this. Here's the next CD. This one is incredible. I haven't got to listen to it, but by the way, all this is available on iTunes in the reissue, so I can listen to all this on iTunes,
Yeah, right on.
This CD, number 5, is incredible because it's just Lars and James demos, and it's them writing riffs for the record, and it's like 24 different versions of Sanitarium, Leper Messiah, Disposable Heroes, all different versions.
Wow.
Just putting it together.
Yeah,
which is rad.
Those two, they're the writers, man.
Yeah. The CD6 is more fucking of the riffs, from the vault than just hours of just demos and riffs from this record. Because, they demoed the fuck out of it before they went out there, So, and then CD7, Live at the Meadowlands, 86 when they opened for Ozzy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a 10-song set of just fucking fire. Yeah. And then the next one when they opened for Ozzy, Live at Hampton Coliseum. And then this one is amazing. CD9 is called Jason's Audition, even though he gets in the band. So they got the audition like the next week. They play at the country club in Reseda because they're going to Japan to tour.
Oh, my gosh.
So they play a full show. So they got Jason's first show on here.
Wow.
Right after he gets in the band, like a few days later.
Wow.
Then CD 10 is live at West Germany with Jason, doing the Masters stuff. Then there's a cassette tape, which is dope, and it's live in Stockholm, Sweden, September 25th, 86 with Cliff, and that's a cassette.
Cool.
Yeah, right?
Cool packaging, man.
Oh, man, totally.
Great packaging.
Then the DVD is Joe Louis Arena in 86. That's the Ozzy tour in Detroit. Another DVD live at Denmark, 86. God, this is cool. And then when they played MTV, 3 songs. And then
is that with Jason at that point?
No, this is 86, so
Okay.
it's
still
all
Cliff.
It's all Cliff. Yeah. And then DVD number 2 is Japan with Cliff on this tour, 86.
Wow.
And then Japanese interviews, and then James and Kirk interview in Japan. Wow. Now, on top of all that, it came with these 6 badass pins for your denim.
Yeah, classic.
But it came with this fucking full-on book.
Really?
Like a book, man, coffee table book. And I already had the coffee table book, but it's all the making of Masters with the lyrics and everything.
Really?
And then,
some candid studio shots and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah, I'll show it to you. And then it comes with a full folder of all the handwritten lyrics.
Oh, that's great.
So this thing is unbelievable.
That is worth the purchase right there. You're getting your money's worth out of that, without a doubt.
It's unbelievable,
I find that interesting that they put Jason's audition on Master of Puppets and not say when they reissue Injustice.
Well, because they're going in the time period.
Yeah.
So this is when he gets in.
Yes, because this is when Cliff dies.
Right, this is when Cliff dies. Right. So they're just going in chronological order, which is incredible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's on the Masters tour. Because I saw him open for Ozzy. I think it was at the Oakland Coliseum. And then, they come back. And it's Jason in the band. You know what I mean? Once they're doing headlining dates and shit. So that's, I tell you guys, if you know anyone out there that's a Metallica fan, surprise them with this, you'll blow their head off.
Yeah, that's a good Christmas gift right there.
Oh my God, right?
Yeah, big time.
And it's just spectacular. I kept going through it today like, laughing. I filmed it as I opened it. I was filming it on Instagram. You can watch it. I was just laughing like, look how fucking great this is.
Yeah.
Ha!
Yeah, man. DVD live footage. awesome.
Yeah, I might have to just fucking, actually, I know someone will just pop it up onto YouTube eventually.
Yeah, somebody's going to rip it.
Yeah,
Absolutely, but it's cool that it's there. And
the
packaging, as I say, looks
I just love how they have all this shit still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I mean,
like, I guess Lars kept everything. He's kept everything.
You know,
it's
there's
like,
always a guy. Yeah, there's always a guy. There's always one guy in the band that'll do that.
I'm like that in comedy, man. Like out in my garage, everything. I got all the first flyers of doing comedy.
Yeah,
and it's just like wow.
Like Hugh Hefner, man. I don't know if you ever saw his whole world, but that guy had everything in scrapbooks.
Wow.
Everything, and it was all chronological from his first grade report card all the way to all the way up to modern, any press clippings, anything.
Imagine the storage on that, dude. Just the storage unit.
Yeah, well, he had a room that was just volumes of this stuff, and he'd go in there every now and again. And we're talking big scrapbooks.
Yeah,
and bust them open, and just he'd add things as they were every day. It was part of his day. He would just add any press clippings or what have you. Yeah, that guy. You imagine.
I wonder if he added his death.
Or if it's in his will, like, you better add my death.
You gotta
add the
chapter.
death. He probably did. You got to finish this chapter. Yeah,
dude. Good to have you back.
You too, brother.
Now I just saw Whitesnake. It's weird how like just press just blows out. They're already pumping all the summer tours here in December.
Man.
So it's Foreigner, Whitesnake, and Jason Bonham this summer.
Yep.
I was surprised that Foreigner was above Whitesnake.
Yeah, they are.
It's interesting.
I don't know. I think that's the case in the United States. I don't know if that could go around. That billing could go around the world.
What? How many minutes will you guys play?
Well, I gather probably as much as
90.
Cheap Trick did on the last tour, because we're basically filling in that Cheap Trick slot. So yeah, not 90. I think I think we get like an hour, maybe hour 10.
Right.
Somewhere in there.
Right. And then you guys got a new record coming out. They announced it yesterday.
Yes. Which I didn't know, I guess is entitled Flesh and Blood. I'm the last to know this fucking shit, dude.
Yeah. Flesh and Blood, isn't that a Poison record?
Yeah, and look at I won't give my opinion on such things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll be a happy camper in the band. But yeah, sometimes I think I just think it's kind of fucking ridiculous. Like, that's like, don't name something that's already named, but he doesn't care. Clearly, David doesn't care. He named our last live album Made in Japan.
Yeah.
And we brought it up, and we were like, DC, Deep Purple Made in Japan. Yes, Michael. I don't dwell on the past. That was his. I don't dwell on the past. No postmortems. Just moving on.
Wow.
Yeah, he doesn't. He just doesn't fucking care. And hey. God bless him for that, because I think that's also the reason why David is able to sing certain lyrics that we've heard so many times before.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he pulls it off somehow where you go, oh, God, that's... Or maybe some people are like, God, I've heard that so many times before, but I don't when I hear him sing. I don't go, oh, man, Blue Moon or something. Because he just owns it,
Right,
and I think it's the same with album titles. It's, we did have a Spinal Tap moment though when we were on the Forevermore tour, because Tesla had an album out called Forevermore.
God.
They were playing or we were playing or whatever, and our backdrop, said Forevermore, and then they came out and their backdrop said Forevermore.
No shit.
Yeah, dude, it was total fucking Spinal Tap, dude.
You guys could have just shared a backdrop.
We totally could have. But yeah, the album is, I believe, entitled Flesh and Blood, and we are touring with Foreigner and Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Experience next year. And it's kind of funny because I just finished that tour.
Yeah.
With Jason.
Yep.
And now I'm going back out, with Whitesnake, but I'll still be hanging with the boys in Jason's band and seeing Jason, and that's always cool. And the Foreigner guys, they're all great, man.
Yeah, man, I
Jeff
just
Pilson and Bluestein.
Lou Graham was in the band.
Man, me too.
Yeah.
And he came out and
he did like 4 songs on one of those shows,
at Jones Beach.
Yeah, I saw it.
And we always say this, and it's something it's very commonly said often, that you sometimes don't want to meet your heroes because you don't want to be disappointed, right?
Right.
And Lou Gramm, being a child of the 80s FM radio, was a really prominent voice for me growing up because I
fucking worship.
Yeah, he was a great singer, and he had, yet he still, it was FM radio friendly music, but he still embodied that big rock voice,
right?
That I love so much. You know, the Plants and the Bon Scotts and the Brian Johnsons and even the Bob Segers. Like, there were still guys out there, waving that flag, but he wasn't Springsteen because he had the range of Plants and the high. He could go up into the higher voicings where these other guys weren't doing that, and so you could put him in with a Joe Elliott type of at that time, and I love him and I love his voice. So to meet him, I was like, oh no, is he going to be this like curmudgeonly, moody prick? Because I'm like, who cares what you have to say?
Yeah.
They couldn't be further from that. He was humble. He was a sweet guy. He was a sweetheart, you know. And we were in catering, and we shot the shit at the table for a while. I got to tell him all the things you want to tell people that, you know, you are a fan of. And he was
double vision, man.
Dude. And he was so fucking gracious. And then he went out on stage, and I watched the show. I watched them do what they do. I couldn't miss it. But he did sort of a duet, you know. Kelly Hansen.
I was a little bummed on that.
Who was out there, and you know,
I had shot it down pretty hard when I was on the mic at on Eddie Trunk, but I was.
Well, I don't mean good like you know, but you know.
I mean, because they were doing that, I want to know what love is.
Yeah.
And there's Lou Gramm in the background as this guy's talking about what song they're about to do. And I'm like, wait, let the other guy talk.
Let the other guy talk.
Because he fucking wrote it.
Yes.
He's like, you know, we got the feeling out there. Yeah. And I want you guys all to come together with us on this. Yeah. And then they do, I want to know what love is or whatever. You know, and I'm like, why didn't you let that guy go, hey, this chick broke my heart. And I was in the garage, and you know,
or you say something like, "Hey, this was the song that broke up me and the writing partnership of me and Mick Jones."
Well, anything cool. But the other guy was just bouncing around. But you know,
sometimes I notice, you know, frontmen. You know, there are basically two types. You know, there's the frontman who every night is sort of
a frontman.
And it's fresh.
Yeah.
And he's not relying upon any old anecdotal stuff. Yeah. You know, Coverdale's like that. He's more like what you do in comedy. You read your audience and then you start zeroing in on people. He's just that guy. He's got a thing about him. But anyway, then there are other lead singers who say the same thing every night because it's just sort of part of like, I have to remember my show and this is what works.
Yeah.
And it's all down to the minute, right? Everything, you know, so there are just some people who like that.
Yeah, and it's lighting cues.
Yes, and Kelly is that kind of front man. He has the same spiel every night. And it's not to knock him. I'm not judging. I'm just saying like that's sort of.
So he's just doing the spiel he did every night.
So that's why I'm saying
Lou Gramm's sitting over there going.
Yes, and that's why I think that happened is because he's just sort of following his show, but Lou's over there, and why fuck with it? But yeah, my only criticism of it was I wanted Lou to be front and center.
Yeah, right. He was over to the side.
Take the spotlight. Just sing the song.
People have been waiting for that,
man. But I think...
and by the way, you can watch this on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I notice, because, you know, there are people out there who will criticize Lou for, for not having the range that he once had, okay? Because he can't get up there, whereas Kelly can hit those notes, right? Yeah. But my argument to that is it's not how high that note can go. It's the quality and the timbre of the voice that is producing and delivering the note. And when I heard him sing, immediately I thought to myself, this guy is a world-class singer. The way he delivers and phrases these notes and these lines.
Yeah, that shit like, hey, baby, are you dreaming?
Yeah.
I know what's good for you all day.
Yes.
You know, it's just like,
phrasing.
It's got that fucking soul and stuff,
dude.
Man.
And so when I'm listening to him sing that song live on stage, I went out front to the board to watch it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, I don't fucking care if he can hit that note. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You got me. I'm all yours here. Like, sing it low and proud. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Do like what Plant does.
Original dudes.
Yeah, like I don't give a fuck about the note.
Yeah.
If that's what you care about, then go watch the cover band. Go watch Led Zeppelin do it or something.
Oh, yeah, they'll crush it out there.
You know what I mean? Like, watch Robert Plant sing Robert Plant. Watch Lou Gramm, if he ever does it, like, just appreciate the fact that he's still alive and he's still out there doing it.
Yeah, man. And Plant handles it. I love how he does it.
I do too. It's all gypsy New Orleans,
jazzy. It's all fucking, it's all psychedelic.
Dude, it's got mojo and fucking, it's great.
I just love that guy.
Me too, dude. Totally.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to be in Sacramento this week with Joey Diaz, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then Sunday, I'll be in Santa Barbara at the Arlington Theater with Bill Burr. The Sacramento shows, by the way, are at the Punchline. Joey Diaz and I are coming. All right. We're coming, and we are going to fucking have a great time. And then, man, next week, another great episode. It's Jay Blakesberg, the incredible photographer, will be on Monday.
Sweet.
And that guy has shot the shit out of everybody, including, of course, the Grateful Dead, the history of the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
Michael Devin, follow him on Instagram. What is it again?
Michael E. Devin.
Michael E. Devin. Check out his podcast, The Rock and Roll Bible.
That is correct, sir.
On iTunes and all the other stuff.
Yeah, Stitcher and all that other stuff.
And don't forget to subscribe and leave a review of Let There Be Talk on iTunes. Come on, tell people about it. Love all you guys. Have a great weekend. Candles lit.